Well, it is about that time again, and it is time for Ready, Set, Real Estate. And I continue to bring phenomenal people on the show who are doing phenomenal things. And I'm so excited to bring my guest, Josh Udeh, who goes by Udeh, and he's the co-founder of Aya Cafe. And we're going to be talking about superfoods today. And of course, it is my job to tie it into the real estate industry. And he's got a great story, a message, and I'm so happy to bring him on a show that you guys can get connected with superfoods. Josh Udeh, welcome to the show. So happy to have you.
Hey, thank you for having us, Lisa. Um, I love to use opportunities to talk about food. I love food. Food is like about a good 70% of my life. If I'm not in the kitchen, making my product, I'm in the kitchen cooking food for the family. Or I'm in the kitchen just, being an alchemist and just putting things together. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. And
yeah,
this works great because I I just told someone this yesterday because I've gotten back on my workout routine. I do about 6 miles every other day because I'm learning every day is not going to work. So I've been complementing working out every other day, and the days I don't actually do cardio, I'm doing weights just to kind of tone my body. But all that would be for naught if I'm not eating right. So Super Agent has got superfood, Ayaka Cafe, Uday's in the building, and I know you're gonna do some spanking. I know you're gonna let me know that because here's the thing, you guys. I definitely love eating. And as I shared with Uday offline, that I'm not officially vegan, but those who know me, I don't eat meat. And it's interesting because when I made the transition, all of a sudden, it just became so much easier to find foods that don't have meat. So, Uday, please talk to us about vegan awareness and the organic way and what's happening with foods overall in the industry and your role as you guys are like opportunity building and capitalizing on healthy passions is what I'm calling it.
yeah. Okay, so okay, there will be no beating on this show. First off, I really tried not to. Back in my younger days, when I started going vegan, it was it was just a great opportunity to get into the knowledge, and I
Yeah.
had a great community around me just supporting me. I have to really give a big shout out to my big brother Chukudi. He actually introduced me into the life, and he taught me about just eating healthy and eating green. So big shout out to him.
Yeah.
But he eased me into it, and I like knowledge. I like information. I use it as a weapon sometimes,
Yes.
And what I've seen is when I talk to a lot of people about eating healthy, they shunned me. Are they crawled back into their shell because eating for a lot of us is comfort.
Right.
Eating to a lot of us makes us feel good. It's supposed to.
Right.
Food is supposed to be our fuel.
Right.
So we try to put the proper fuels in our body to make us last longer. It's just like
Right.
when you pull up at the gas station, they give you options. You have three types. Maybe four types if you want to include diesel, but you wouldn't put diesel in your Porsche. You wouldn't. If you put the
Right.
diesel in your Porsche, most likely it'll break down on you. It's not going to run how you want it to run. So that's exactly what we're experiencing right now on this platform with food. Um, the fast food chains, a lot of the fast food chains, they're giving us diesel, and we're walking around in the best Audis, BMWs, Porsches, whatever you want to call it. We're walking
Mm-hmm.
around in the best vehicles known to man, known to the planet, and we're
Right.
putting diesel in it in form of refined sugars, saturated fats, and a lot of people run from the saturated fats, but all saturated fats aren't bad, but when you break down and go into fats, you're talking about refined, just anything refined that's not in its natural state. So what I teach, mostly with my business and what I try to incorporate into my lifestyle is, just getting as much enzymes and raw foods as possible.
Mm.
Getting foods that haven't been touched. Because, right now the game is try to find the quickest and easiest way to preserve your food so it can last longer on the shelves, so it could get to the consumer, so it could get sold. So everything is, capitalism. I mean, that's kind of the world we live in.
Right.
So we're looking to make things last for as long as possible, but we're not looking to, make things efficient for our body.
Mm.
You know,
Well
and
said.
and and that's what's happening.
Well said. Well said. That was a lot to take in. That was a lot to take in. So you guys, I've got the website up for ayarod.com where you can support, shop, buy these snack packages. And please tell us what markets you currently serve right now. We talked about it offline, but I want people to know what markets across the country you currently have a client base.
Okay, so I'm originally from San Diego, California. I came out to Alabama to play football. I went to Alabama A&M, and the inception of Aya Cafe actually started off in Madison County in Alabama, and so that's my main market. I love my people out here. I love you guys. Flying Monkey support us a lot. Green Street. What else? Madison County Farmers Market. Those are my main markets that I do.
Okay.
But we recently branched out to Southern Florida and Southern California. The San Diego markets, love you guys out there. Imperial Beach, Oceanside, Farmers Market, City Heights Farmers Market, amazing market, very diverse. So if you guys are in the San Diego area, make sure you guys hit up City Heights Farmers Market, amazing market. Love you guys.
Nice.
Florida, my partner actually, I came in this with my football teammate. So he is based in Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Miami area. He knows more about that area. Let me see if I could. Coconut Grove Farmers Market. That's a market out there in Miami that really loves our product. So if you guys are in any of these areas, make sure you guys come by and support. You guys should get some of our kale chips. We have 2 different flavors. Our Big Papa, filled with vitamin K, vitamin C, just amazing vitamins. Superfoods, as we were talking about earlier, super agent superfoods.
Yes.
We want to just get these superfoods in us that are nutrient dense. So we do a kale chip, 2 different flavors, our OG and our Big Papa. And we also have a banana brittle. Our banana brittle is just like banana bread. Yes, just like banana bread, but we just simplified it. A lot of the snacks on the market is just complex. They're just so complex. If you go through the ingredients, there's going to be ingredients in there that you never even heard of. You can't even pronounce. So what we did was just simplified it. So our banana brittle is bananas, sprouted walnuts, chia meal, and cinnamon. And in some municipalities, they allow us to put love in it. And we'll have the love in the ingredients because that's just the time it takes to actually make the product, produce the product, and bring it out to you guys.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love that. So one of the things, as you said, superfood, super agent, and I was talking about healthy body, and I love the analogy about gas, right? You equated that to the various types of gas and what are you deciding to put in your body. And I've been, like I said, one thing, when you're around a group that is conscientious of what they're putting in their bodies, there are the telltale signs that you need to do better, right? So I am aware that when I'm around my fam who's on the vegan and we're doing yoga, and it'll show up, like I said, it'll show up in my skin. And those are things that I'm also paying attention to within other people, especially when we have things like high cholesterol, high blood pressure, diabetes that are prevalent in our communities. It's very important to start to be mindful about what we're snacking on, especially when I'm sitting at my desk all day or we're driving in our car and we just want something quick, right? Just very quick, convenient, and easy, which is why I'm so glad that, you guys are one of a few, or I should say growing entities in the industry that are coming out with healthy snacks. So I appreciate you. I am so thankful for Aya Cafe and Udeh and the team for what you're doing, because I can't do it all. I can't do it all. So let's talk about, we were talking a little bit about the growth of Aya. So at one point in time, there was an infrastructure. Talk to us a little bit about, the commercial space and where you anticipate to move forward going forward in the future.
Okay. Commercial space. We look to acquire our commercial space to actually have a place to produce our product, because
Okay,
a lot of this stuff really started off in the apartment.
that's
It
right.
started off in the apartment with my teammate, and we were just cooking. As I told you before, my big brother Chukudi, he actually brought us the knowledge, and once we started cooking and started finding out different ingredients that we could, put together and make these magnificent meals with, we needed a place to actually create, package, and get it to other people, because people were
Right,
asking for it.
right.
So we looked to acquire commercial space, and we found a great space right next to Alabama A&M, which is my alma mater. That Udeh, Uh, I love A&M. Shout out to my alma mater. But we were looking to put a place there, to supply the students and give them a healthy option, because we just don't have any healthy options around our
That's
area.
perfect. Right.
So the commercial space, we're actually in it for about 6 months. We ran a GoFundMe, so I appreciate everybody out there who supported us. I'm glad that Lisa has given us this opportunity to really, talk to you guys about it. And basically, our landlord, he wouldn't allow us the renovations needed to get it open to the public.
Mm,
So our kitchen was up and running. We talked to the health department. We had that down, but our building wasn't up and running, or at least up to code to allow the public to, be able to participate in our events. So we were in there about 6 months. We actually conceived the product, which is kale chips and banana brittle now.
right,
Shout out to everybody who supported us then, coming in, buying kale chips, when they were very young in its manifestation.
right.
Yeah, so within those 6 months, we came up with a product, and we just went back to the lab. We found out where we could sell our product, since we couldn't do it in a building. We looked for farmers markets. We found out what we needed to do it, and we made it happen. So that was about, it's
Like with that.
2017 now. That was back in 2014. And we came up with a product now, and now we know exactly where we need to sell it. We know the people who love it. You guys told us you love it, so we're bringing it to you at the farmers markets. We're bringing it to you at the festivals, the Vegan Fest. But we haven't forgot about everyone who wants the cafe. That's something we our heart is in, and that's something that we really want to do. We still want to be able to make meals, quick meals for people who are in the area that need something healthy to eat, because we know it's hard. When you're in a place like Madison County, which is very limited options to eat vegan, or to eat plant-based, or just find out what healthy options you have. It's
Right,
hard. We're surrounded and bombarded by, fast food chains, trying to give us a quick burger, you know, some
right,
fries and a shake, and we're not given the option of something, alive and nutritious. I
right.
want to say shout out to Chef Will, the Palais. And he's been out there in Madison County, really out there cooking ITEL meals, alkaline meals, highly nutrient dense meals, and that's a guy that I learned from. So I'm still out here working on the cafe. I don't want you guys to think I forgot about you guys. Right now, we're just pushing our product, just allowing that capital to grow, because there's a lot of overhead that comes with having a building, that we found out a little bit the hard way,
Right.
a little bit the hard way within our 6 months. But we're perfecting our craft now, and we're looking to bring the cafe to you real soon.
Great, great. I'm so glad, and this is why this is what Ready Set Real Estate is about, is to spotlight, the learning. That's a learning curve, especially when you're not versed in real estate, commercial ownership, commercial management, leasing spaces, learning what maybe restrictions you might have that you come across when you're leasing a space, because a lot of what's interesting, when we're talking about commercial space, and depending the locale that you're in, certain places won't allow you to put certain types of businesses.
Yeah.
And so as I'm hearing you say that, it sounds like you're in a space and I think everywhere where it's much needed to have healthier options, we are starting to see more pop-ups. And maybe at some future point, maybe all those businesses can collaborate and purchase a building space. And like how some areas, I don't know if you guys have like swap meets where all the vendors set up their shops in the building and everyone's leasing space, but at least we know it's a hub. I'm throwing that out there. Anybody listening, and I mean, I think that's a great opportunity to create a healthy place or community for, you know, where to go get the healthy stuff. Because I feel like everybody has their tribe. You know, I mean, you have your tribe. You shout out your market, and you have your dedicated customer base. But it also allows other people to be exposed to what you're doing. And I think when you have a community like that to support that, when we're talking about the real estate space of it, we can do tremendous things for transforming the livelihoods of people in the community. So yes, we do want the healthy options, but it is something, it's difficult when we are limited with where we can go get it. So it's good that you, right now, you're shipping all over the place and you still are able to offer that. I've been a little remiss in ordering, but I am going to order some because, like I said, I need to do better in terms of healthy snacking. And I love bananas, so that the banana brittle sounds like right up my alley.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's exactly. You're into the real estate, and I definitely want to talk to you more. You know, I understand we're limited on time during this interview, but yeah, that's something we do need to do. We need a place where we could create hubs for ourselves, so we can find a way to actually move around in this matrix that is foreign, because everything is created to be able to, you know, use it for our best advantage, our, you know, as a tool to build ourselves to be the best person we want to be. So really it's the knowledge. Once you have the knowledge and the information, now you go and seek these places. And I was a seeker, you know, and I was looking and I found and I looked and I found, but you know, some people aren't, you know, or some people don't have the time, you know, it's a long day, you know, the long day, you know, having children, you know, I have a son, he's 18 months now, and I understand the time it takes just to, you know, be in your child's life and be, you know, active and conscious in your child's life. It takes time, plus living your life. So it's hard out there. So it takes people like us, you know, the super agents and the people having the superfoods to come out here and create these hubs for our community where they can come somewhere and be able to eat right or be able to learn about real estate, because that's something I needed. I wish I met you about 3 years ago.
You met me now. It's all good.
I know we're meeting now for a reason. So, but you know, then if I had that information, I could have, you know, looked for something better or just consulted with you in my community to find out what I needed to do. So, yeah, definitely. Right now, our website is open. We actually started the snacks because we understand the lifestyle. We understand people are on the go. People need something quick to snack on. So we're looking and we're working on giving them the best options possible, you know, within our snacks.
Right. Oh my gosh, you know, that was well said. And that, like I said, this is the whole point of this show, is to spotlight the conversation. My movement and my nonprofit has been born out of the fact that we need to have the real estate conversation, bring it to the table, right? And the fact that now we're not just bringing the superfood to the table, we can talk about the real estate and the importance of it, because again, we've seen it time and time again about the liquor stores that are rampant in our communities, right? We've seen it time and time again of the fast food chains and the franchise that are popping up everywhere that are rampant in our communities. And the truth of it is when I actually see, like, there's a video game out, I saw this a couple years ago, and in the video game, they depicted, it's one of those real violent video games. It's a car, I don't want to shout out the name of the game, but in this game, they depicted various communities. And of course, in the poverty-stricken, gang-infested community, the characters were depicted overweight. And then in the much nicer area, the characters, the just in passing, were depicted in healthier shape. They looked better. That blew my mind in a video game.
Hey, a lot of what do they say? Reality is stranger than fiction, or fiction is it's something along those lines that these games, or what we think is a game, or what we think is fiction or fantasy, is really based off of real life. You know, this is literally what's going on in our communities. And like I told you before, bad service or good service, I definitely want to come back on with you on the show, because there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on in our community that we need to just speak on, and this is one of them, and they know it. The person who made that game, they know it. Once you go into certain communities, and it's going to be a little rundown, and it might just be from where you grew up, where I grew up. You're going to see people who are overweight. You're going to see Big Mama. I like movies. I'm really into movies. So, what I mean? You're going to see Big Mama getting her leg cut off because of soul food, or whatever they classify as soul food now. So that stuff is really happening. So they're looking at it as a joke and something you buy, but this is something that is affecting our lives. That's my mama that's getting her leg cut off. That's my dad that's experiencing, diabetes and kidney failure. And what I'm telling you right now, this is real. My dad is experiencing diabetes right now. My dad is experiencing kidney failure and having to go to dialysis. And this is happening all around me. So this is something we really have to, come together, put our minds on, and talk about, because it's a simple fix. It does take a little discipline. It took discipline on my part, and how you said, when you're around your vegan friends, you can see they kind of look at you different. It kind of takes that. It kind of takes being uncomfortable, and having to question, what's really going on, and what can I do? And it takes a lot of introspection. That's why I don't like going hard, or smacking anybody, or tongue lashing anybody about it anymore, because it really takes a certain amount of introspection within self to come to the realization, like, something has to change.
Something has to change. And that is a great segue into what we're talking about. Something has to change. And you guys, we are, again, if you are just catching us on the replay, thank you for that. We're on with Udeh, co-founder of Aya Cafe. He is in the raw snack industry, and all about vegan, organic, healthy. So if you've been catching the headlines, this is about super agent, bringing superfoods to you, and really about building a community around the food that we eat, that we can offer. And that, again, as you guys are aware that I show you, everything around you is real estate, albeit the grocery store that you shop to, that's commercial building, that's commercial real estate. The snack foods franchise, the chain stores, that's all commercial real estate. And I'm wanting to spotlight that those of you who are in the industry, and we talked about this, so we talked about a possible solution today in terms of not putting all the weight on someone like Udeh and his team to try to develop a commercial space or building, but maybe a cooperative where you all become common interest partners, and you buy the space, and then you create like this swap meet or hub or community where people can come and know that if I come to that promenade out there in Madison County, I know that this is a strip that offers healthy foods. I know where to go, and that's the place to go. And it becomes a staple for that community that will be a model for everybody else. I'm just started out there. So IARod.com is where you can connect and learn more. Do you want to throw out your social media, Udeh, so people can just connect with you on social media and just stay connected with what's coming up next? So as you talked about the growth, did we already cover what's coming next? I normally like to end the show with so people can anticipate what's coming with Aya. And you talked about Aya Nation. Is this a good time?
Yeah. I mean, this would be a great time. You were talking about a cooperative, and that's basically what Aya Nation is just joining up with different minds that, like yourself, that have, forward like thinking, for our community, and what we could do with, you know, our future. And our future is really within our children, you know, because as we change ourselves, they're looking at us. My son, he copies my facial features. He copies my hand movements. Everything I do, he's following in his footsteps. You know, a lot of things that doctors say. It runs in your family. You know, I love that part. They say a sickness or a disease runs in your family. That's really, it's the action that runs in your family. Because if your mom ate bad food, she's going to teach you how to cook bad food. Then you'll eat bad food. Then you'll teach your children how to cook bad food. And that's how it continues. That's how it runs in the family. So, you know, basically what we're trying to do, and even take it to that next step with IA Nation, is create and facilitate different institutions that teach the children what to do next. You know, how to garden, because that is the next platform. You know, we're going to be able to put seeds into the ground. Because if you're grabbing an apple, you know, from a Whole Foods market, not Whole Foods itself, just any fresh market or any store in a building that has a sticker on it, it has a sticker on it. It has went through a process. We have to start getting to the point where we could put a seed into the ground, learn how to cultivate it, and then eat it and serve it to our children. That's the next step. Then, you know, being able to recycle. We're going to have to learn how to recycle. You know, we have plastic and all type of things that aren't decomposing in our ground, and we're going to have to learn how to do something with it. We're just going to have to learn these things to take it to that next. The future for IA Cafe, IA Nation is just being able to create these institutions. IA Cafe is going to be our franchise of just places you could go to get something to eat. IA Nation is going to be our institution where we have a place for the youth and even, you know, mid-range adults that are, you know, young and hard and forward thinking, just coming together and, you know, learning a new way of life, you know, just a new life. So that's basically what our next step is. You know, we're gonna go out here and we're gonna go to the markets that I was telling you before. We're gonna talk to you guys and let you guys know what we're doing. We're gonna have events online. We're gonna continue crowdfunding because that's what we do. We use GoFundMe, we use Kickstarter, we use alternative ways of crowdfunding. We're actually open to ideas. So if anybody else have new ideas on crowdfunding, that's what we want to get involved in. You could find us on Facebook. Just type in IA Cafe, IA Raw. We should pop up. Instagram, IA Cafe 256. That's our Instagram. Where else are we? You can find us on YouTube. We have, you know, small recipes on there that you can check us out on. Our website. Our website, iraw.com. Check us out there. We have our snacks on there. We have actually some detox teas on there if you're looking to detox. We have natural products for the body. We have a book actually called 14 Days Vegan. You can check that out. It just shows you and leads you on a path where you could go 14 days and be vegan. We have recipes in there. We have our life story in there. We have for you to access. And it's out here. All you have to be is be a seeker, be open, and be forward thinking.
Right. Oh my gosh. I could see why you said we can go on and on and on, because my mind is thinking of one thing to the next, because this is like, regardless of all the real estate stuff I want to do, talk about, practice, grow, it does no good if my vessel is not intact.
There you go. There you go.
If my vessel is not intact. So this has been absolutely just amazing to have you on the show. And I'm glad you mentioned your son. It was very important for me, and we talked about this, to represent you and depict you and your son. So congrats to the new baby. What's his name?
His name is Chukwuma.
I love that. I love it. And especially because the reason the platform Ready Set Real Estate supports businesses, entrepreneurs, like-minded people, because this is about the next generation. Our tagline is teach the next to fix the now. and realestate100youth.org so that you can support our nonprofit. We will be able to connect our youth to learn from the Udehs of the world, with gardening and building, because what Udeh is talking about is agricultural real estate. Okay. He's talking about agricultural real estate, and it is absolutely important when we're talking about overall supporting and building the next generation. So I am beyond ecstatic. I'm fired up about today's show and bringing you back on, because now you're part of the family. I'm part of Aya, you part of Real Estate 100 family, and we're just going to continue to do amazing things. So I thank you so much for taking the time to come on the show. Your information is available online. People can catch it on the replay. Support ayarod.com, you guys. And any last words, Udeh? We're getting ready to sign off.
Okay. First, I want to say I appreciate you, Lisa, for actually having me on the show, and I was just excited to, be able to get on the show and just talk to the people. Talk to you, just talk to the people, and just talk to my community. This is really what I'm all about. I do so much on the day-to-day that it's hard for me to do everything. It's hard for me to cook, make a product, create a business, tend to my family, tend to my partner, and, and get online and go live and talk to the people. It's hard. So I'm glad, and I'm very appreciative that you will create a platform where super agents can come out and just, talk about their day-to-day life, Also, what I didn't do, which I always should do, is I want to give a big shout out to my family. My family really put me on the path just through their experiences and, through their wisdom. I'm second to the youngest, so I have 4 siblings above me, one below me, and they really shaped, who I am now. By just helping me and teaching me and just giving me their wisdom. Even my younger sister, she taught me. In her life. So that's what I didn't do. I shouted out the Marquis, I shouted out everyone, but at the end of the day, it's that core. And I appreciate, my family, my relatives, and all of them for, just giving me and gifting me with just their wisdom.
Right. I shaded that. All right, you guys, that is it for this week's segment. Be sure to catch us on the replay, you guys. Subscribe, like, share at LA Super Agent on all social media. Again, check out the website, see what we're doing. Amazing things are happening. And tune in next week for our Kwanzaa special. I'm excited about that.
I'm excited about that. I'm excited.
Yeah, we are out, you guys. This is Ready, Set, Real Estate.